Yeah, you're not going to hear the prompt anymore. I got rid of
Okay.
that. Yeah, so
All right. I
whenever
said,
you're ready.
welcome back to the Tiga Tactics podcast, show about self-defense for civilians by civilians. We discuss all things personal protection, including martial arts, combat sports, and street combatives. Our resident MANs, martial arts nerds, include co-founder of Tiga Tactics and holder of black belts in 9 different styles, Dr. Conrad Bui.
Hello, everyone.
We also have black belt holder in 4 different styles, the other co-founder, Patrick Vuong.
What's cracking, my combatives friends?
And I am the third co-host, retired Army Special Forces soldier and champion obstacle course racing athlete Evan Ultra-OCR and Perperis. Today we're going to be talking about injuries and the mental toll, which seems applicable not only because of personal lives, but also recent UFC fights, which we'll talk about that in a second. Before we get to that, though, a quick word from this episode's sponsor. Let's talk about Vulpus training products. We recently got some new Vulpus training products. Patrick, tell me about some of the ones you got and what you think about them.
I think they're outstanding. I can't say enough good things about them. I've gotten all kinds of really cool tools this last round. I got a Tonto, a very realistic Tonto. So whenever I pull that out, I feel like a samurai. I've got this, and I apologize, I forgot the name of the tool, but it's a Hawaiian, it's a Polynesian, sorry, it's a Maori Polynesian weapon. It looks like a giant paddle. I can imagine myself, like clubbing people over the head and crushing skulls with it. I also got butterfly swords or butterfly knives, depending on what you call them in Chinese martial arts. Um, and those are really cool because I practice kung fu, so it's exceptional. It's an exceptional model, so I'm really pleased with all of them so far.
Very cool. My only complaint is every time I go to the website, I find more things I want, and then I have to eventually place another order. That's my only because he's like constantly expanding the product line. Like
Mhm.
there's literally like hundreds on the website, and then like every time I go back and like look for something specific, I'm like, ooh, this looks nice too. Ooh, this let me add this to my wish list. So it's never ending. My wife's like, how many trainers do you need? It's like, I don't know, one more, whatever that is. All right, let's jump into today's episode. So we are talking about injury, and we've talked about injury before. I think it was in season one, but we want to talk a little bit more about the mental toll of injury. Not only because I am personally injured, I think Patrick, you're also dealing with some injuries.
Mhm.
Also, if you watch UFC 329 earlier this month, you saw the Conor McGregor fight end very, very quickly. So, but yeah, let's jump in. Patrick, what are you dealing with? And then I'll tell a little bit about my story.
Yes, I'm dealing with a bum knee, and unfortunately, it's my good knee. My left knee traditionally has been the one that's given me problems. I never really injured it per se in like a specific incident. I guess it's just the wear and tear over the years of doing sports and martial arts. But now it's my good knee, and I think it was again not a specific kick or technique that happened, but I did over the weekend. I did a coach's certification course for striking, so basically for boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA. And our final exam compared to what you Evan and you Conrad, what you guys do, it was nothing. You guys would probably laugh at it, but for me, I felt like I was on physical 100, and we had to do basically nonstop for 15 minutes, calisthenics, kicking, and plyometrics, just nonstop for 15 minutes. And I did not know that there was going to be such an extreme physical component, such a so much conditioning at the end of this course. Because we had just done theory, we had done some role playing teaching, we had done some drilling, typical like Muay Thai class or boxing class. So nothing difficult for me, but then he kind of like just added this icing on the cake, and I was not prepared. I did not know. I caught me off guard, and then the next day my knee started clicking, and I could tell that I it wanted to lock up, and so I've been walking very gingerly. Fortunately, not a noticeable limp, but I can definitely tell like if I take a wrong step, or if I try to push off too much, or if I try to do a flying roundhouse kick and land awkwardly, I may break my knee. So
Mm.
I'm kind of dealing with that, and a couple of weeks before, actually a different type of injury, I guess more of an infection. I got a staph infection from doing no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which,
Ooh.
yeah, unfortunately, my professor and all my teammates, they'll say it's just occupational hazards. part of the game. This is my first time ever getting infected in that way, and I'm super paranoid too. I like head to toe rash guard, wash my hands immediately after all that stuff, but I still got it. So that is not quite an injury, but obviously it's preventing me from training, and I'm much more cautious. I don't want to spread the love to my classmates, so I haven't been doing grappling specifically. I did do the striking course, but we weren't hugging or anything like that. And I'm not contagious anymore, but I'm still very cautious. So those two things right now is kind of holding me back a little bit for me reaching my full potential where I want to be right now.
Gotcha. Conrad, are you the only healthy one here?
As a 55-year-old athlete, I'm never healthy.
That's true. That's
You
true.
know, I'm always yeah, and the thing is, when you reach 55, 50 even, you're gonna have something. There's always something going on, whether you work out or not. So yeah, it's for at my stage of the game, it's all about managing the injuries that I know I will have or that I currently do have right now. But yeah, so there's always minor injuries, and then of course there's catastrophic injuries like you, Evan. So why don't we talk about your catastrophic injury?
Yeah, absolutely. Before that though, you mentioned you're always kind of battling something, and the worlds I live in, endurance athletes, martial artists, military guys are the same way. They're always like battling. There's something always hurts. A couple of years ago, I saw like a meme on the internet, and it's like a guy in a doctor's office, and he's like, "Wow, how's your level of pain?" And he's like, "Only the normal amount of pain." And he's like, "The normal amount of pain." The doctor says like, "Only the normal amount of pain is zero." And like I didn't get it because everyone I know is always in pain. I had to show it to my wife, and I was like, "Is this what normal people feel like?" And she's like, "Yes." And I was like, "What?"
Is
I
this
was like, "You
true?
got,
Is
you
it
got,
actually true?
you're not constantly in pain. Something's not constantly hurting." She's like, "No." I was like, "Interesting." Anyway, catastrophic injury. So I'm in seminary, and I have the summers off. And just like last summer, I'm like, we're going all in on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm doing like 2 a days, a lot of days. A couple days I get 3 a days in, very rarely, basically once a week. And some days I only get one, but it's a lot of jiu-jitsu. And people are like, "Oh, Evan, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt." And what they don't know, most of the guys don't know, like I have like an endurance background. So like me training 2 hours a day it's a decrease in volume of like what I used to be doing when I was doing endurance running and doing martial arts on top of it. Anyway, the catastrophic injury was not due to overtraining. So what happened was I went to a 7 a.m. class. It's a small group. A guy who's a brown belt, probably outweighs me by, I don't know, 70 pounds, showed up. He's not one of the regulars. He showed up to, I guess he used to train at the gym, hadn't been there in a couple of years, and was moving. So he wanted to come in and say goodbye to some friends. So he shows up to morning Nogi BJJ. Uh, I'm on, I think, the third roll of the day or fourth roll of the day. And I roll with him, and he's attacking legs, and I'm basically standing trying to pass his guard. And he keeps, inverting or shooting for my legs, and et cetera. And I kind of break distance and create some space. At one point, he off balances me, so I kind of like fall onto all fours, off to, if he's on his back and I'm standing, I'm now off to his left, and I'm on all fours, like in hands on the ground, feet on the ground. And he essentially barrel rolls towards me and rolls over my posted arm. And my arm does not support that much weight laterally, and it snapped. So when the bone broke, it was so loud that everyone stopped training and was like, and I stood up and I was like, "We should go to the hospital." And all my friends were like, "We agree with you." And one of my friends,
Wow.
Jim, is like, "I will get the car." And I was like, "That's a good idea." I put my shoes on, and the brown belt's apologizing. I'm like, "Don't worry about it." I was like, "Let's just get to the hospital," because like I didn't even look at it because it was so loud. It was so clearly broke. I've never been so positive I broke something in my entire life. Um, I get in the car, we start driving to the hospital, and on the way to the hospital, I start getting like cold sweats, like my body's like in the early stages of shock, essentially. And And then I started getting dizzy, and I was like, oh, it's a good thing I didn't drive. And hospital's about 10 minutes away. By the time we got there, I kind of some of the color had returned, and then we spent all morning in the emergency room getting my arm X-rayed and getting a splint put on. And then last about 10 days ago, they did surgery and they put a plate in there, and I think a couple of screws. I think like 6 screws. I'm not sure exactly. They didn't really give me a good debrief, but I'm tomorrow as of this recording tomorrow, I am going and getting the stitches cut out that where they cut the incision in my arm, and so things are going well. A couple more weeks, and I can get back to normal training.
That's a crazy story, man.
That's a very rare occurrence in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even at tournaments, somebody rolling onto your arm like that and snapping right at the forearm. So that was just very rare. I don't think I've heard of it too much. Actually, this is the first time something like that I've heard of.
I think you normally when you get injured, you're like, oh, I learned something valuable. I shouldn't do that. I feel like I didn't learn anything. I feel like if you did the same thing to me, I would respond in a similar fashion. I don't know what that says about the situation, but yeah, it's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. So now that you're injured, Evan, are you doing? You're obviously not training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for sure. Probably Muay Thai and things like that. Are you doing anything different in lieu of your injury there?
Yeah, so the week I got injured, essentially I would go to jujitsu class at night and I would lift weights off to the side. They have like a weight area. So I was able to watch the technique and then kind of lift weights. The benefit was though I could actually write stuff down. So normally in jiu-jitsu you're too busy, right? Like I'm doing the moves. So like I
Mhm.
actually like wrote stuff down that way I could like review it later. So that's been helpful. And then I went on vacation immediately after that. So I haven't been to jiu-jitsu again in the last like 2 weeks. And what I've been doing in lieu of training was essentially I was catching up. I buy a lot of like digital content and watch a lot of like YouTube videos and podcasts, knife content that I had bought and hadn't actually finished watching or training. So just doing a lot of like I guess mental reps theoretically, and I continue to watch a little bit of technique videos, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Mostly watching video and training one side of my body with.
And so all the vacation been doing, I've been following you on social media. Was that planned or was it just because now you just can't train and visit friends?
No, that was planned. It was actually
Oh.
like if I had to get injured, this was actually pretty good timing. I was planning on taking about 4 or 5 weeks off anyway, to travel. So not the
Wow.
worst time.
Right. You can't ask for. I mean, getting injured sucks. Period.
Yeah.
I don't care. There's just no other way to put it. Getting injured, not being able to train, being in pain. Having reduced of any part of your body sucks. But like what you said, holy smokes! What terrific timing! If you're gonna get injured, now was the time, huh?
Yeah, and because like typing is not really easy either, so like I can't work on any of my books.
Hmm.
I can't necessarily do a lot of physical training. So again, I've just been catching up on a lot of like I've been training pretty hard for the last 20 years. Not all-time martial arts, but between, prepping for military courses like Ranger School selection, being in a special forces team, training for endurance sports like triathlon or natural bodybuilding, and then like a decade-long career as a professional obstacle course racer and then martial arts after that. Honestly, like not training for a little bit was it's kind of nice. And honestly, I feel like I was long overdue for like a really serious injury. So yeah, it is what it
Wow.
is.
Yeah, I know how you Jiu-Jitsu every day, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I had a Muay Thai class on top of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was getting burned out. When COVID hit, I was in fact kind of happy that I got a forced break because I was breaking down not just physically but mentally. So it's good to I think you and I, Evan, we're like we're junkies. Like we got to get our
Yeah.
fix, and sometimes it takes like a forced break first to take a step back and reset and let our bodies heal up a little bit. Well, too, and it's very depressing, not being able to do something, and it's even worse if you're not staying busy. Because if you're not
Yes,
staying busy, then you're just drowning in your own tears.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. With martial arts, and then honestly with most sports, there's like even if one arm or one leg is injured, there's other things you can work on that are still going to improve.
Mm,
And then even
mm,
if you have multiple limbs injured or you can't like train at all, again, there's so much mindset, books, videos, other kind of
mm.
like adjacent topics that you can work on, that you can still grow. It's just not in the way you were growing before. So that's how I've
Right.
been, I guess, dealing with it. But and honestly, the only times I get upset occasionally is if I have to like do some normal stuff that it's taking it, like I'm having trouble doing it because I can't really use one of my arms very well. So like I got as I to make myself feel better, or maybe I think I actually might have bought it before. You know me, I bought a new knife. Big shocker for everyone.
Ah.
And it was actually it was a new actually it was I'm got it right now. It was a new scales, a new handle for one of my current knives that me and you Conrad won last year, the Dynamis Alliance Crusader knife.
Mm,
I got like a better grip for it, and
mm.
because you have to use these like tiny Allen wrench to like unscrew the screws. I was getting very frustrated because I had trouble like stabilizing the knife. So I had my wife come over and help me. That's honestly like the most frustrating part when I'm trying to do something that should take me a couple of minutes and it's taking twice as long. That's Patrick. How are you dealing with your current situation?
Well, fortunately, like you guys said, I've been busy, so I've been handling a lot of other stuff and haven't been letting it get to me too badly because I'm juggling so many other things. So I'm not as depressed, I guess, if you could say, about not being able to train. But one of the ways that I compensate, I guess, would be to watch a lot of tutorial videos, or even watch my own footage that I've recorded of myself. It is a double-edged sword though, because it gets me pumped up, and then sometimes it gets me so pumped up, it's like, I can't be physically doing it. But it does satisfy that craving, so to speak. And it also, like you said, Evan, it also lets my brain work through the material to kind of continue that, lack of a better term, muscle memory. So at least I'm staying sharp and memorizing the techniques, remembering how my body needs to move when I'm doing certain things. And so that's really the big thing is I'm a very visual learner, so I'll have to watch footage. I'll watch social media videos about a specific topic that I'm interested in. Obviously, right now I'm studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm watching a lot of tutorials on that topic, and that's kind of gonna help me prevent from getting into the mental darkness, so to speak.
Yeah, I think one of the other big things is essentially diversifying. So not only for us as martial arts nerds, we diversify in multiple martial arts, right? So like if I can't do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or I can't do striking, I can do pistol work or knife work. So that for me that makes that a lot easier because I'm not all of my eggs are not in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu basket. If all of my eggs were in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu basket and that was my only martial art
Mm,
that I
right.
do, I would definitely having a rougher time. The same tips still apply, but it would just be harder. Because again, because we try training so many different things all the time, it's like, oh, I'll just focus on something else for a little bit. That's fine, and I'll come back to more jujitsu later. And that's true, I think, in martial arts. But then like on a larger scale, that's like true in life. Like if I have, if my mental wellness is built on multiple things, my family, my job, my friends, my faith, martial arts, my essentially my hobbies, right? If I have all these different pillars supporting my mental health, if a couple of them start going bad, I get fired, uh, I get divorced or something, right? Like I still have these other pillars that are doing well and keeping my mental sanity stable until kind of I can recover and get things back under control.
Right. And yeah, and back to keeping busy as well too. Uh, I remember Bruce Lee had a back injury and he was bedridden for 6 months. Supposedly the doctors told him he might never do martial arts again. I mean, that must have been very depressing and to be bedridden for 6 months. Uh, that's the old school way of bed rest, you know. I think he could have healed up a lot sooner had he had more current advice from his physician. But regardless, he was in bed for 6 months. That's when he started doing all those notes and everything like that. And eventually, that was all thrown together to create the Tao of Jeet Kune Do, the book. And so, yeah, stay busy. It just sucks if you have nothing to do. And like what you said, you gotta have all sorts of different supports, whether that's social support, and different hobbies, and things like that as well too.
All right, let's start wrapping it up. Final shout outs we need to give or closing thoughts. Over to Patrick first.
Yeah, but depending on when you're listening to this, we have our uh, tool set training tour happening in San Francisco, July 18th and 19th. That focuses on how to select, carry, deploy, and use a pen, flashlight, and pocket knife. And that
Well,
will
this
be
will be after that, so you can catch the next one in Fullerton, California in October.
right, right. Well, actually, we already did it in Fullerton, so
Oh,
yeah. So
we
we'll
catch something new.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Build a time machine, go back and head to that seminar,
Correct,
or
correct. And
take the
then
online courses as a substitute since you
right.
you missed it.
And then we have in August 1st, we will be at Dragon Fest, which is the
Woohoo!
25th anniversary of this one of the largest martial arts conventions on the West Coast, at least. And there will be a ton of martial arts celebrities, martial arts icons. Tiga will be there. We'll be there with the table, and it will all be to benefit the Martial Arts History Museum. So it's a good cause, along with just being a really really fun time. So hopefully, if you're in Southern California, please come out and join us and hang out with us. We're gonna be there not just as a company, but also as fanboys. We're gonna, we get to meet some of our celebrities who we admire. Try some hands-on seminars that other legends are teaching. So it'll be a good time overall.
Heck
Sounds good.
yeah.
Conrad, what do you have? Anything coming up in August or later?
No, I was just gonna say I'm looking forward to that Dragon Fest. I'm gonna go cosplay for that one as well too, and come join us if you're in the area, August 1st. Also, our stunt division will be there with us as well too. So come out and meet the entire team.
Yes, it's going to be great. For our listeners, I just released Western Piper Level 3 book. So the trilogy is done. I'm done writing about Western Piper methods, all three. And if you're interested in learning Western Piper through my Patreon page, I am restarting level 1 in August. So sign up in August, and you get to go through the whole system step by step with a whole bunch of other people that are currently are about to start. So that is patreon.com/Greek Combatives. And then I've got a book coming out in the fall focused on World War II combatives and Fairbairn's knife system that Conrad helped me out with. Because it includes a like 100-page written book and a video, but I'm
Woo.
still finalizing that.
Awesome.
All right, we will see you guys in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.